Hello, Kindred Spirits, and welcome to my spiritual oasis. Here, weary souls come to find inner wisdom and peace. So today, we're going to do another Soulful 7. Again, soulful messages from Spirit, Universe, God that are applicable for the next 5 to 7 days from when you find this video. These are meant to be timeless videos, and they're meant to kind of, fill your cup up, fill your spiritual, your soulful, your energetic cup for the week, for the next 5 to 7 days. So there are going to be at least 3 groups prepared. This is all going to be intuitive. I have nothing prepared. So there's going to be links in the description for each of the groups to select from whichever group you feel like has your message. If you are feeling drawn to more than one group, your message certainly might be a combination of multiple groups. So we're going to be doing what I would consider like a general reading for the group, and then we're going to be taking a look at a handful of soul truth cards, which the intent behind that is for you to select one of the soul truth questions to meditate on, to journal, to ponder through for the next 5 to 7 days. So for the next week, you're kind of focusing on one area of your life until we meet again next week. So, without further ado, we're going to move right into the readings. Hello, group number 1, and welcome to your reading. We're going to go ahead and shuffle our love messages, our Whispers of Love Oracle deck, to see what our guiding energy is for our conversation today. Okay. The heart of the matter. There is more going on than meets the eye. The first thoughts that come to mind seeing this is it's almost like this idea of like allowing spirit, allowing the universe to work in your favor. It reminds me of like the mystery, the ghost pipe herb in the Botanical deck. Like this idea of mystery, this idea that even the idea that everything is not what it seems, and that we are privy to a lot of information, but things are still in the works. Life is still being constructed as we speak. So it's almost like, your house or something is being built and you go to visit your house in the middle of construction. You're like, no, I hate this. This is terrible. It's like, well, it's in process. It's in construction right now. This isn't the final, turnout. So I feel like making judgment calls too quick could also be what this card is talking about. And also like the root and the core of somebody's intentions. If this is talking about a person, like what is their intent? What is their heart behind it? Do they have ill intent? Is their heart not in a good place? Are they being selfish? Are they being harmful? Are they not caring in general about other people and they're being selfish, self-centered and focused on what they want and no one else? So I feel like the heart of the matter really is like getting down to the root of something. I seem to drop cards more since I relocated myself. So we also have our 8 of Cups being added to the conversation. Our 8 of Cups is about new direction and walking away. So I feel like this is really talking about like walking away from judgment, walking away from taking a new direction in your life, basically. Because the phrase like you what you put in is what you get out, and expecting a different outcome with the same input is the definition of sanity or something like that. I probably jacked that phrase up completely. But the whole idea is that if you keep doing the same thing, you're going to keep getting the same result. And from one side of things, if you keep doing great things and you keep getting great results, then you want to keep on doing that. But if you're not getting the results that you want, then you have to switch up the work that you're putting in and not just expecting all of a sudden for things to just change. And I feel like that's how some people look at manifestation. They feel like, oh, manifestation, things are just all of a sudden going to just change. And it's like, no, manifestation includes work, like affirmations, like you're affirming what you want. And then consciously and subconsciously, you start making moves to work your life around it, to make space for whatever that thing is that you're trying to affirm. For example, if you're trying to affirm a loving relationship, a loving partnership with somebody, then you're going to start working on yourself, right? Getting yourself up to a place where you're going to attract the partner that you want. You're not just going to stay the same old person and expect to attract something new. It's something different. So it's very similar in that way. Like if you want something different, you're going to have to do something different. You're going to have to make some changes, some alterations, because actions, that's what tells that is what gets the universe moving. So taking actions towards your goals and towards your dreams is what gets the universe moving in your favor. You know, walking away from the old ways, walking away from things that you don't want, moving towards the things that you do want. And speaking of things that we want, abundance, and our King of Rings pops up into the message. So our King of Rings could definitely represent a person in an earth sign, sun, moon, rising, Venus, Capricorn, sorry, I'm dropping things, Capricorn, Virgo, or spacing out, Taurus. Sorry, you guys. So our King of Rings is about responsibility and abundance. So I feel like this idea of abundance coming through work. So our King of Rings, you know, he sits on his throne and he looks out at all of the fruit from his labor. So I feel like this is a message that it does take work. It takes work. It takes effort to reap the rewards of the labor that you put in. I'm struggling to hold on to these cards. And we also have the King of Swords as well. So our King of Swords talks about intellect, articulation, being able to, really I feel like our King of Swords is about communicating in a successful way. Being able to articulate our thoughts, articulate our desires, our dreams, what we want, setting boundaries. Our King of Swords is very logical, reasonable, just, you know, being fair to ourselves as well as others. And this idea of intelligence, intellect. And I feel like also being able to communicate your intellect. I feel like self-advocacy is a part of our King of Swords energy. Using your voice and your words to communicate your needs, communicate your wants, to tell your story. All of those different energies. And I feel like our King of Swords could represent a person, sun, moon, rising, Venus in an air sign. So Gemini, Aquarius, Libra. Doesn't necessarily have to, but I feel like it's that energy. And I feel like some of you could benefit from tapping into our King of Swords energy in collaboration with our King of Rings energy. So this idea of responsibility, taking the responsibility to, you know, articulate and communicate what you need and what you want in your life is going to bring abundance to you. Walking away from old ways, old habits, old thought processes, things like that is really going to bring a lot of really positive energy into your world. And then we have our bearberry. So our keyword for our bearberry is strength. And the message that I'm getting here, it's like strength through gentleness. So I feel like it's similar to the strength card. This idea of being strong, but being strong in a more gentle way. Again, like using words, using influence, rather than like brute force. And the strength to change. You know, our Eight of Cups is talking about, you know, change. It's talking about walking away from something that you know and moving towards something that you don't know, taking a new direction, leaving behind the things that hurt you, but also often leaving behind the familiar as well. I feel like a lot of things come in our lives with duality to them. You know, for example, leaving your hometown or leaving the city or the space where, you know, you grew up and moving to a new place. It's like, yeah, there might have been some difficult things about living where you were, where you grew up or whatever, but you're also leaving behind family and friends. And, you know, the fact that even though it might be dysfunctional and crazy, it was like you knew that, like that was familiar to you. And now you're moving on to something else that you have no idea what it can bring to you. So just understanding that and like being gentle with yourself along the way. So we have petite grain. I feel like petite grain shows up a lot in our conversations with this idea of independence, which I feel like is really connected to our, you know, new direction, our strength, and even like our king energy here. This idea of strength in your talents and your abilities, and being an independent soul, like thinking for yourself and making decisions that are for your own good, in your best interest. So some of the triggering statement here is, I am just like my mother, father, whatever. And the true statement is, I am free to choose. So this idea of choice, I feel like our Eight of Cups is very much so about making the choice to take a new direction, to walk away, to leave behind, you know, the despair, the emotional distress, and moving towards something that is going to be more beneficial to us. But I feel like it is this idea of choosing, making a choice here. So you are ready to break free of the conditions that have bound you so that you may continue your journey of healing and growth. I feel like we're always on a journey of healing and growth, preferably together. Preferably always growth. But I feel like we're always healing, even when we don't necessarily feel like hurt or wounded, like there's nothing devastating happening to me. But I feel like we're constantly processing various different stimuli, even things that we don't even know are troubling or problems for us. I feel like we're constantly growing, we're constantly healing from various different things as we learn how to, first of all, is when we learn what things are actually like difficult for us and triggering for us. And I feel like sometimes it's the things that you thought weren't a problem, and then you're like, wait a second. Like I started doing some root work, you know, and found some like, you know, some deep rooted family stuff that popped up, and I was like, wow, I didn't even like think of that as being a catalyst for all of these different things in my life, or for various different other things in my life. And once coming to that conclusion, it really opened my eyes to the fact that, like, don't take for granted what you think you know. Or what you, because life might switch it up on you. So I just thought that lesson was very interesting to share. So we have our ocean jasper entering the conversation. Schedule yourself in. Self-care. Self-care is so critical. You know, our King of Swords, I said, was advocating for yourself vocally, but I feel like that ocean jasper, this idea of scheduling yourself in, this idea of leaving space in general in your calendar for you, I feel like it's so critical for us busy people that are always being busy, you know. Yeah, and I just rolled my eyes at myself because sometimes you're like, oh yeah, I have 3 seconds here. Let me go ahead and stuff something that's going to take 10 seconds into this 3-second slot. And the next thing you turn around, you look up and, you know, it's the end of the night and you haven't done anything for yourself that day that you should have done. So I feel like I'm triggered by this. And I think some of us other like busy souls are as well. You know, I feel like just kind of connecting back to the heart of the matter, like our guiding energy. To me, it's about priority. And I feel like Ocean Jasper is really talking about this idea of prioritizing ourselves. And I feel like that's why we are here today. I feel like that's why we're in this space. This Soulful 7 space is really meant to, it's about scheduling yourself in. So however long you're tuning into this conversation and however long you're able to spend with the questions and the journaling and the meditation and all of that stuff, like this is your time. This is your time to grow yourself spiritually, to build yourself up, to fill your own cup. And I feel like it's so important to schedule in time for yourself and not just other people as well. So we also have Aventurine. And, you know, this gem, this crystal is about create your own luck, creating your own luck. And I believe that we do that. I feel like the message here is that we do that by making the choice, making choices and making decisions to move forward in a direction. First of all, to make change. So this idea of new direction, this idea of walking away is about, you know what, this isn't serving me. This is not fitting into my life and how I see my life working, and making the decision to leave it behind. And then also, what was the phrase? There's a phrase that says something similar like this, that luck is where preparedness and opportunity meet, or something like that. But the whole idea behind that is that luck isn't, again, like this idea of manifestation, just all of a sudden something is going to happen out of nothing. It's like, no, you are putting in something and receiving something out the other end. So I feel like this idea of creating your own luck is about working towards your goals. And by doing that, the universe is going to respond. The universe reacts to your actions. The universe reacts to your thoughts. That's what the universe reacts to. So if you're not thinking positively and you're not doing things to move you in a positive direction, the universe it cannot respond to you. It cannot provide anything for you because it hasn't been given an intake. So this is what literally just came to my mind, a gumball machine. The gumballs are there, right? We can think of the gumballs as blessings. We can think of the gumball as luck. We can think of the gumball as financial prosperity. Insert whatever you desire here. That's the gumball. And the gumballs are there, right? These blessings are sitting there in bounty. But, you know, the mechanism that the gumballs are a part of, the gumball machine, we can say is like universe, you know, God, that sort of thing. And the divine energies are waiting for an input. So in the gumball machine, it's waiting for the quarter. You put in the quarter and you twist the dial and it releases a gumball. So it's the same way in, you know, our conversation about the universe. You put in energy, affirmations, changes, you're making changes, you're affirming, you're visualizing, you're improving your self-talk, you're taking actions towards these things that you desire. That is your quarter. That is you twisting the dial. And then the gumball will come to you. So that is making me want a gumball right now. But this idea of how I envision, literally that's like, took a half of a second for the vision to come. Took me like 3 minutes to explain it. So yeah. Anyway, So these are the general messages for you, group number 1, which I feel like, again, kind of reiterating back down to our guiding energy, this idea of the heart of the matter, this idea that there is more going on than meets the eye. This idea, I feel like it's also talking about patience too. So as you're affirming and making changes, like it's not going to happen overnight. You have to keep doing it. It's about consistency. You know, I feel like this is going to be so random, but I feel like someone needs to hear this. Like, you know, consistency, especially when you're talking about like dating. You know, the person who shows up for the first date, it's great to show up for the first date, but you also need to show up for all of the other dates after that too. Showing up once isn't enough. You have to be consistent about what you do. And that quality of being consistent, that quality of consistency is what we look for. So if you are out, if you're single and looking for a partner, consistency is key. If they're not being consistent, if they're not being communicative, then it's a red flag. Because think about it. You know, if there was like a job opportunity or something that you really, really wanted, how many times are you going to call and follow up and, you know, submit stuff on time? You're going to be on it. And it's the same thing that goes in love relationships too. I know this is so specific to somebody, but, or to a group of people, to all my single folks out there. You know, when you're dating, like, consistency is key. If they're not being consistent, then they don't deserve to be with you. Let's just be honest about that. Because think about it for yourself too. Like, if you're dating someone and you're not really vibing hard with them, you're going to slack off on responding to messages, and you're going to be kind of you might be flaky when it comes to the dates or setting up dates or whatever. So being vague with answers. So just keep that in mind. Just keep it in mind. I know. That was a meander. Anyway, so we're going to get to our soul truth question. So this is the opportunity where you kind of get to select one of the soul truth questions that I'll be laying out here in a minute to carry with you through the next week. So the next 5 to 7 days, pondering, meditating, journaling, really kind of working through whatever question is really speaking to you today that you want to take with you for the week. This is kind of the opportunity for a little bit of customization, if you will, for the reading. So, where can I create more space? Instead of filling yourself up with busy work and things to do, create more sacred space in your schedule. Ocean Jasper, hello. Create more sacred space in your schedule, in your home, your mind, your lungs, and in your heart. Take time to just be. Do a clutter detox of your schedule, home, and innermost self. Make space. Clarity will come. So I like this idea of making space because what it reminds me of right off the bat is this idea of I always think of a parking lot. I know, I'm such a visual person. I think of like a parking lot, right? And the spaces are the different spots in your life. So, you know, you have a parking space for a partner. You have a parking space for friends, or several parking spaces for friends. And then you have so many parking spaces for all of these different other things that are in your life. So if somebody is parking, if there's a car in a parking spot, then another car cannot take that spot. So for example, if your life is filled with fear and worry and all of these sorts of negative energies, there's no space for joy, for peace, for prosperity. You know, if you have a broke down car in your your center of like prosperity, then that's all you're gonna see in prosperity. But making room, making space, getting that raggedy car out of the way so a really nice car can park in that space is really what this is really talking about for me. So this idea of making space for the things that you want, not having it just to have it. Like, oh, I have a car, It's like, yeah, but it's not the one you want. It's the raggedy one, Clearing the clutter. What risk can I take today? What risk? Be not mistaken. You will have to take bigger risks than ever thought possible on this path towards your dreams. You will have to take the big, scary leap. But do not fret, because your soul has wings. So your soul action this week is to ask yourself, what risk can you take to move toward your dreams? Make a decision to do it. No more thinking, only doing. Be brave and courageous, and you will discover what you are really made of. So this idea of courage, I feel like, is really key. And like just understanding that it takes courage to take a new direction in life, We're creatures of habit. So when our habits get interrupted, it's a little challenging for us. And I think it's fair to admit that to ourselves as well. But also know that we are capable of change, that we are very adaptable, we are very resourceful creatures, and we have the capability to make the changes that we need to get us to where we want to be. And then our last question for this week is going to be, am I afraid to be seen? What is the heart of the matter? Come on with it now. The world doesn't want you to hold back any longer. Time to shine your unique light to the world. You were made from love, and from love you are whole. There is no more hiding. There is no more shame. There is only truth. Live naked and free. So these are the messages that I have channeled for you today, group number 1. I hope this was helpful for you. If it was, make sure to drop a comment. Also, click like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, as well as liking my Facebook page and checking out my Etsy shop, where I curate content to help you on your spiritual journey. Thank you for your time and energy, and I will see you in an upcoming video. Bye. Hello, group number 2, and welcome to your reading. So we're going to go ahead and shuffle our Whispers of Love Oracle deck to see what our guiding energy is for our reading today. This guy is calling to me. True love. This love is once in a lifetime. All right. Let's get some additional information. So this could be talking about this could be talking about a partnership, a twin flame connection, a soulmate connection. I'm also getting the message here, since we are here to breathe life into our own lives. We are here to nurture our own souls. I feel like this once in a lifetime love is for numero uno, for you. Very challenging to shuffle. So we have our 5 of Rings, insecurity, recovery. I could talk about physical ailments as well. We have our Queen of Cups, as well as our Ace of Rings. With our true love is our guiding energy, our Queen of Cups as well. This idea of authenticity. This idea of being authentic, just really reminds me of the care and craftsmanship that go into each of us, beings, each of us living beings. Living beings have all of the elements, make us up. We need everything to make us, in a very delicate balance of all of these different energies. And this idea of being authentic, being unique, from everyone around us, even if you look like someone else, like you're a twin or something like that. You still are authentic. You are unique. There is no one like you. There is no one exactly like you. And I feel like embracing that truth is, I feel like it really speaks to this idea of true love. Especially since our conversations are around, ourselves and like filling our own cups up. And so in our Ace of Rings, I'm seeing new opportunities, potentially in business, new opportunities in health. So, our Five of Rings kind of talks about, potentially like physical ailments, physical difficulties. And then our Ace of Rings, I see this idea of renewal, healing. We also have success, recognition, new beginnings as far as, the worldly plane goes. So new job opportunity, new career opportunities, being recognized for your achievements and things that you have accomplished. And I am getting the message here, potentially even like related to accomplishing like education, like graduating or something like that. I feel like it's also kind of covered by all of this, by this Ace of Rings energy. But I feel like looking forward to success in general. And I feel like success around what your true loves are, what your true calling is. What does authentic you want to do with your life? What is success to you? So we have chamomile, this idea of soothe, and I feel like it's very much so connected and related to our Five of Rings energy here. I also feel like healing. When something, when you're damaged, you're injured or whatever, and you put some aloe vera or something on it and it soothes that difficulty, or even when you're like sick and you're coughing and you take a cough drop and it soothes your throat. I feel like that soothing, it's like that nurturing, it's very Queen of Cups energy to me. But this idea of soothing allows you to rest, because that pain is no longer so jarring that you can't, you can't rest. It's just keeping you from resting. And I feel like this, chamomile is coming with a message also to those of you, like my single folks who are looking, who are open to love, looking for a partner, open to a partnership. And I feel like chamomile is coming to like speedy your recovery, but also almost like giving you the permission to rest. Like, it's okay to rest in where you are now. Lean into where you are now. And just trust and have faith that indeed, what you desire in your heart is going to come to fruition. I feel like that's a message that some specific folks needed to hear today. And then we have massage. So this key word here is ease, and I feel like that's definitely connected to our soothe energy, which I think is definitely connected to our Five of Rings energy, which is all about recovery. So our trigger statements here is I have to make this work. The true statement is I am at ease with life. Again, that rest, that relaxation. It's almost like permission to be at rest, permission to not have to be searching and digging and be on apps and get frustrated with people and doing all these different things. Like, that was super specific, but this idea of things don't have to be hard, like, yes, you have to put in effort, but this idea that you are at ease with life. You need to ease your grip on life so that it can lead the way. there is an outcome brighter than you can imagine. There is an outcome brighter than you can imagine. And I think of massaging. I think of like relaxing the muscles, right? This idea of soothing, this idea of relaxing. And also, like, the way I think of it is like you're gripping on a life, right? You're trying, you're struggling, you're really desperately looking for that love or whatever. And it's like your love can't get into your fist because you're gripping so tight onto it, nothing can get in. So this idea of loosening your grip, relaxing, right? Soothing, exhaling, opens you up for things to then be able to be introduced into your life. So just kind of bear that in mind as you're going forward and looking, just as you're going forward and moving in different aspects of your life. So not necessarily just love in the sense of like romance, but also in the areas of career and, spiritual growth and all that sorts of stuff. Like all those different things, there's a time for effort, there's a time to put in effort, and then there's a time to relax. For example, I think of like, planting the fields, Knight of Pentacles energy, planting the fields, that work, right? And then there comes a time where after you plant the fields, you prep the soil, you fertilize the soil, you turn over the soil, and then you go through, you plant, you plant your seeds, you water your seeds. And then there is a point, once all of that effort is done, for you to relax and allow the seeds to do what the seeds do under those circumstances. Like, it's very interesting that our moonstone popped out today because I was literally thinking about our moonstone. Live your purpose. Wow. Live your purpose. This is really connected to the Queen of Cups, that authentic energy, that authenticity. I feel like part of your recovery here as well is, and part of moving on from insecurity and our Five of Rings energy is this idea of accepting who you are. Really leaning into your own unique, authentic energy. I'm struggling. So that is deeply what I'm feeling hard for you guys. This idea of live your purpose. Some of you might be like, what is my purpose? That's a doggone good question. And I feel like if you ask that question, or if you're hesitant or uncertain about it, I feel like doing some deep dives on what that looks like. I feel like our purpose is, connecting with our destiny. And I feel like it's often related to creativity, the things that come to you, and the things that you enjoy doing, the things that you enjoy spending time on. And it might even take for some of us to look back at our past, because maybe our adult life, or our, more adult-ish life, our aged life, might reflect, kind of responsibility and having to do all of these different things, or doing things that we think we need to do that make us successful. And I feel like sometimes in these types of conversations, kind of going back to the roots of things, going back to when we were young, what did we do when we were young that we didn't think about? We were hours doing these things that were fun for us, that were enjoyable to us. Like tapping into some of that energy could hold the answer to that what is my purpose question. But I feel like, meditating, spending time in spirit, and also listening to your heart. What is your heart calling you to do that you're not doing? What is the love of your life? What is that thing that you do that when you start doing it, it's daytime. When you end doing it, it's nighttime, and you have no idea where the time went. So these are kind of some things to think about if you're wondering what your life purpose is and you haven't yet discovered that. And I also would like to give some encouragement for those of you who that is vibing with is that it's not going to be easy to find your destined path, because if it was, we would all be living our destined path. We would all be living in destiny if it were easy to do. Just like if it was easy to be rich or easy to be wealthy, we would all be doing it, But it does take effort. It does take work to get there, and to find that space and that place for us. And then we have selenite. So in selenite, it's all about clearing the clutter, making room, making space for the things that we want in our life. This idea of recovery, this idea of insecurity. Where insecurity resides, confidence cannot reside in the same house at the same time. So if you want to be a confident person, you have to move out that insecurity. And I feel like, discovering our purpose, and not only discovering your purpose, but making moves, taking actions to live in that purpose, taking that leap of faith is going to be critical for you, critical and crucial to living the type of life that you want to live. Okay. So those are the general messages for you, group number 2. We're going to go ahead and pull some soul truth cards for you to meditate on, to contemplate through for the next week, the next 5 to 7 days. Okay, wow, I just dropped like half the deck. I swear I dropped more cards ever since I relocated myself to this new spot. Yeah, the struggle is super real. All right. All right. Oh my gosh. Well, after I get my struggle together here, we are going to eventually select some soul truth cards. Okay. Here we go. Yes, there is a real human behind this. I know. It's beautiful. All right. Am I focused on what I want most? It's a good question. One reason so few of us achieve what we truly want is that we never direct our focus. We never concentrate our power. Most people dabble their way through life, never deciding to master anything in particular. That quote came from Tony Robbins. So the soul action for the week for you, if you select this group, what you focus on grows. Today, ask yourself. This week, ask yourself every day. Is my life a reflection of my values, or do I need to make adjustments? Prioritize. And I feel like this is definitely connected to our clear the clutter message. Clearing out the things. This idea of prioritization is like clearing out the things that aren't serving you, clearing out the things that you do not want in your life, making room for the things that you do want in your life, focusing on the things that you want in your life, and going after them. Going after those things that are real for you. What am I waiting for? Someone else to do it for me? Are you waiting on someone else before you can take the big leap? What if you were to take life into your hands and forge your own unique path? Put your heart into action and ask yourself, what risk can you take to move towards your dreams? Make a decision and do it. No more waiting for others. Do it scared. Take the leap. I feel like I heard it somewhere, I read it somewhere. This idea of you're never actually going to feel ready, so you should do it anyway. Particularly in relationship to doing something that scares you often is, especially when it's around connected to your purpose and stuff, like some things scare you for a reason. But a lot of the times when it's about taking the leap to do things that we that are meaningful to us. Like, we're afraid of failing because it's so meaningful to us. But if we never actually take the leap, we'll never know what the outcome will be. And I feel like that's kind of what this card is getting at here. No more thinking, only doing. Be brave, and you will discover what you are really made of. Wild soul, strong heart, can't lose. I feel like these are the things that you should be saying to yourself this week as you push towards whatever it is that you're after, that thing. And you know what it is. That thing on your mind that's been floating around your head that you're like, yeah, I'll get to it. Yeah, I should do that. You know, that thing that you've been telling your family and your friends that you should do. You think about, I thought about starting a YouTube channel. Oh, you know, this week. Now, do it. What are you waiting for? What do you have to lose, honestly? Like, really seriously, what do you have to lose? Do it. And then our final card. To whom am I comparing myself right now? What is the phrase? I have all of these phrases that I kind of don't know. All day. I feel like the phrase is like, comparison is like the thief of happiness or something like that. I'm probably jacking it up. That's fine. What are you able to see in another is only visible. Oh my gosh, I love this so much. Is only visible because it is within you. Ready to be brought out. Shine light on this feeling of not enough and see the truth. All that you need and want is within you. Stop comparing and start creating. Oh my gosh, this is reminding me really hard about something I heard. It was a YouTube video. It's all coming back to me. But this lady was saying, she was talking about critics and how critics and people that are critical, people that basically judge other people's work, are critics. Like, critics don't create is basically what she said. And this resonates so hard with me. Like, you are comparing yourself. You're being critical to yourself because you're not in the act of creating. If you're creating, all of your energy is put into being creative, not dissecting, you know, yourself or what your insecurities are and all that sorts of stuff. So this idea of creating rather than comparing is so solid. And I really like the message in here, this idea of the things that you see in other people that you're comparing yourself to. The only reason why you see that in them is because you too have that. You just have to nurture it. So instead of spending the time comparing yourself to these other people, spend the time developing that, creating with that, whatever it is that you're comparing yourself with, against. Oh my gosh, I love that so much. That's so great. Okay. So those are the messages that I have channeled for you today, group number 2. I hope this was meaningful for you. I hope this gave you the ammunition that you needed to get you through the next 5 to 7 days, gave you some, questions and some energies to ponder over the week, to meditate on and to contemplate. So feel free to take a screenshot of your reading and, post it to the back of your, make it your laptop background or something like that for the week, just to kind of remind you to tap into these energies and to reconnect and connect with yourself and these beautiful questions that we have pulled today from the messages that we have pulled today from our spirit energies, our universal energies. So thank you again for your time and your energy. If something resonated, make sure to drop a comment. Let me know which question you plan to move forward with for the week. Also, make sure to click like and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're not already. Like my Facebook page and check out my Etsy shop where I curate content to help you on your spiritual journey. So thank you again for your time and your energy, and I will see you in an upcoming reading. Bye. Hello, group number 3, and welcome to your reading. So we're going to go ahead and give our Whispers of Love Oracle deck a shuffle for you guys today. what messages for group number 3? What's our starting energy? What is our soulful spiritual message for the week for group number 3? These are some big old cards. Okay. Miracles and blessings. Well, that's delightful. Everything has its gift. Ooh, you know what this reminds me of? This really reminds me of the vulture spirit in the Spirit Animal Oracle. This idea that everything, even those things, even those challenging, difficult things, those hard lessons, everything has its gift. Miracles and blessings. I also feel like blessings sometimes come in weird packages. I feel like when we think of blessings, we're like, oh, everything is going to be, you know, sunshine and strawberries, you know. And in the heat of the moment, you know, when a blessing comes and it's wrapped in the package of a tower card, you know, just complete disaster and chaos, you know, we don't look at those things as blessings. But I feel like blessings are sometimes wrapped in all different types of packages. And for us to, instead of focusing on the events, focus on the lesson. So even when it's something beautiful that happens in your life, instead of focusing on, oh, that, you know, that thing was really great, or that raise was really great, or, you know, whatever it is, thinking about what was the lesson? What did you take from that? How did you feel? You know, what did it tell you about yourself, whatever that event was or that thing that happened? What did that tell you about you? What's the lesson from the thing? So whether that's difficult things, especially if it's a difficult thing, but also for the good things as well. So we have our Spirit of Cups joining the conversation here. Our Spirit of Cups is about opportunity and creativity, which I think is very fitting when we're talking about the idea of miracles and blessings. I feel like miracles and blessings also come in outlets of creativity, creative outlets. And maybe it's just me and my Pisces moon. You know, just being super creative, just at heart. Like, it's just a part of who I am. But having creative outlets and opportunities to be able to express myself creatively, I feel like is a miracle and a blessing. So maybe I'm a little biased about having creativity and creative outlets as a miracle and blessing. And also, like, I'm getting making money, financial gains off of creative endeavors. So really, like, tapping into your creative outlets, I feel like is going to be critical for you, especially in the next 5 to 7 days. You know, if you maybe picked up the guitar again, and maybe you're just kind of doodling on it, lean into that. Lean into it. And see what opportunities might come out of it. And we have justice. So this idea of karmic balance, this idea of understanding, this idea of also cycles. Yeah, cycles. And I also feel like justice talks about, you know, it has the yin yang symbol in it. And I feel like justice also talks about the idea of balance, but the idea of, like, what you put in, you will also get out. Like sowing and reaping as well. So again, if you're leaning into those gifts. You're leaning into those creative endeavors. Out of that will come prosperity. That's the message that I'm getting. And then the Fool. So we have a lot of energy in this reading in general, group number 3. So we are leaning into 2 major cards and a court card here. So a lot of energy in general in this reading. So in our Fool, we're really looking at this idea of optimism, this idea of freedom, this idea of trust. I feel like it's like trusting in universe, like trusting in your gifts, trusting in your destiny, trusting in your purpose, and believing, again, the Fool's about faith, having faith that you will reap the reward, right? Trusting in this idea of karmic balance, justice, trusting in your abilities and your creative endeavors, and this idea of opportunity as well coming your way. So freedom. I'm totally impartial to freedom because I love freedom. This idea of choice is, I've really leaned into it really hard. But yeah, the idea of freedom, embracing it, allowing yourself to be free is the message that I got for some of you. Allow. You have to make the decision to be free. You have to allow that. You have to make the decision. You have to make the choice to have faith, to believe in the universe, karmic balance, destiny. Like, you have to make that decision. You have to allow that in. And we have Lady Mantle, which is a key word here, is magic. I feel like, you know what, this whole reading is it's just such a light, and man, I'm seeing it. It's like a very light but settled energy. It's almost like, with justice here, talking about the scales, talking about of sowing and reaping, this idea of creativity and opportunity, this idea of optimism, freedom, and trust and magic. I feel like, miracles and blessings. I'm just feeling like life is stirring up to present something really wonderful for you. Manifestation is another word that just came to me. That you are in a place of intense ability to manifest the life that you want, doing the things that you love to do. So lean into that, take advantage of that. So this is a root chakra. Pretty sure. Or it could be a sacral. But this idea, we have cilantro entering our conversation here. And cilantro, our key word or key phrase for cilantro is about letting go. It's a sacral chakra. My bad. Sacral chakra. There's a darker red. There must be a darker red. But in this idea of letting go, our trigger statement here is, this is not the way it is supposed to be. But the true statement is, I am free. Ooh, another message of freedom. Lift up your burdens and allow the divine to free you from them. Allow yourself to be cleansed of anything that is weighing you down. Release. Miracles and blessings can only come to you if you allow them in. You have the freedom to make the choice whether or not you allow any energy in, whether it's positive energy or whether it's challenging energy. Bear that in mind. You hold the power. You're in control. You're always in control of what manifests in your life. I'm getting a very specific message for somebody. If you're trying to conceive, I told you it was specific. This idea of letting go is going to be really critical. So this idea of like, your body welcomes life when you put your body in a position to welcome life. And I feel like I'm just getting the message specifically for someone who is trying to conceive, that it's this idea of letting go, releasing the control, releasing the stress, putting your life into a position where you can receive the miracles and the blessings that the universe has for you. That was very specific. I've felt like this energy come over me. It's really intense, heavy energy. It's not impossible. It isn't. Again, that Fool energy is about faith. It's about trust. And I realize that life takes us on journey, right? Life takes us on journey, and there's lots of lessons to be learned. Life has no problem learning them lessons to you now. But I do feel like it's this idea of detox your life. Shungai. Detox your life. Let go. Release. Doing sacral chakra work. Using cilantro as an essential oil that can help you with your sacral chakra work. That's what I'm getting for some of you. And then we have tourmalinated quartz. They couldn't make that word any more challenging. They're like, let me go ahead and make this as hard as I possibly can. Okay. Tourmalinated quartz. Get out of your own way. Get out of your own way. Stop limiting yourself. Getting the message for some of you that you're limiting yourself through your words. You're limiting yourself through your actions. You're telling yourself that you can't do something. You're telling yourself that, I'll never be able to make a living off of my insert creative endeavor here. And by speaking those things into existence, by thinking those things, you are the one indeed that is making that manifest. You're making that true, because the universe can't make space for you. The universe can only do what you tell it to do. Do what you ask it to do. That's all it can do. So if you're telling the universe through your thoughts and through your words and through your actions that this will never be whatever this thing is that you want, the universe can't make it happen because you already spoken into existence that it cannot. So be mindful of your thoughts. Be mindful of your words. Get out of your own way. Make space. Release. Detox. Allow the magic into your world, into your life. Because there's a lot of it out there. And some of it, a lot of it, has your name on it. You just have to get out of your own way and accept it. Allow it in. All right. So those are the main messages for our reading today. Again, like I mentioned, we have a lot of really strong energy with our majors here in our court. But I feel like we also have, I'm just feeling like energy that I'm picking up on is very cohesive. I'm feeling very balanced. I feel like the messages are very equal. They're very balanced. They're very harmonious. They're all singing together. And I feel like that's a very promising energy, very hopeful energy. It really just needs you. Really just needs you to dig in, to sink your teeth into what you really want and desire. Imagine it with clarity. Imagine it so clear that when you snap out of the vision, you can't believe it's not true because you saw it so clearly. I was actually doing some envisioning today. And, okay, that rolled out of the deck here. But I was envisioning today, and it was so clear that when I kind of like snapped out of that mode, I was like, daggone it. Now I have to like let time pass for that to come to fruition. But it's a really good exercise to be on. Oh my gosh, I didn't even read this card. Am I clear on what my soul really wants? That's literally what I was doing today, was getting clear on what my soul really wants. Oh my gosh. You know what, universe? You know what, spirit? Okay. Come on with it. Come on with the messages. Take out the shoulds and the limitations. Get out of your head and pay attention to your heart's desires instead. If you knew it was impossible to fail, what would you do? Wherever you go, go with all your heart. Ask yourself, what is it that your soul really wants? What does your heart crave? Then take one step in that direction this week. Take one step in that direction this week. No more delays. Let's do it. Let's make moves. Okay? I love that. Oh my gosh. Am I clear? Do some visioning too if you need to. I feel like that's what that card is all about. Visioning. How can I infuse more self-love and compassion into my daily life? If your compassion does not include yourself, it is incomplete. So for this week, your soul action for this week is to choose one self-care action to do every day for the next 5 to 7 days. Some ideas are: set stronger boundaries, meditate and listen to your heart, speak to yourself with compassion, focus on your strengths, say no to something that isn't a soul yes, say yes to something you are afraid of, let go of what you cannot control, stay far away from drama and negativity, ask for help and allow it. Write down 3 things you are grateful for. I love gratitude. I feel like I say that every time I see this card. You know, starting every day with one thing that you are grateful for, I promise you will set the tone for your whole day. Like being grateful, like starting the day from a place of gratitude automatically, at least for me, I feel like I've cultivated this, and you can too. But it sets me in a place and a space and a mindset of peace and of joy. And if those 2 energies tacked on with gratitude are dwelling in me, then fear, anxiety, stress, all of these other things there's no space for that stuff. So I absolutely love that. Gratitude, 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 especially, and even if you are not in the place where you want to be, precise place that you want to be, I feel like being grateful for what you do have is like so critical and crucial to moving forward into more prosperity and abundance. What are the dominant emotions that run your life? I feel like I just talked about some of them, but how do you feel your day? Stress or joy? Literally just talked about this. Trust or anger? Anxiety or peace? Literally just talked about this. Come on, spirit. Come on with it. We have only today, right now, the journey. No goal, no destination will bring us the feeling we seek. But when we begin filling every day with that which we value most, we will attract more of it. This is fulfillment. Lean into what you want to feel and adjust your life, your values, and your expectations to match your desires. What do you want to feel? Are you willing to let go of the belief that you have to achieve something to feel it? Ooh, that hit. Letting go of the belief that you have to achieve something to feel it. to feel worthy, to feel accomplished, to feel successful. These are emotions. These are things that you can cultivate in yourself that do not connect to achievement. That's a good message. That's deep right there. Come on with it, Spirit. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Listening. Okay, so group number 3. These are the messages that I have channeled for you today. Again, with our Soul Truth cards, if you need to pause the video here and meditate on which Soul Truth card you would like to take with you moving forward for the week, go ahead and do that now. If something hit home for you, make sure to drop a comment down below and let me know what did. Also, let me know which question you're moving forward with for the next 5 to 7 days. Would love to know what you're working on this week. Click like and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're not already connected. Also, make sure to check out my Facebook page and my Etsy shop where I curate content to help you on your spiritual and life journey. Thank you again, beautiful soul, for spending time with me today, and I will see you in an upcoming video. Bye.